hasn't left yet.
After a couple of tough losses in December, the Calvin Knights have rebounded with 3 straight wins to open the MIAA season. The Knights are now 11-3, ranked 16th in the country in NCAA Division III. And today they entertain and welcome the Albion Britons in what should be a very entertaining basketball game. The Britons come in at 8-6, ready to challenge the Knights today with a very athletic team. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another Saturday afternoon of NCAA college basketball. My name is Bob Sack. I'll have all the play-by-play for you today. Mike Lefebvre will be along shortly with our color analysis, and we think we've got a terrific basketball game to bring to you today. These two teams come off a game on Wednesday that saw Calvin dump Kalamazoo easily by 30. Meanwhile, down in Albion, the Britons lost a tough one to Trine by 4. And so they come in today with a team that is athletic and ready to go after a tough loss on Wednesday evening. The Knights in a tune-up in one sense for a very big week coming up at Hope and at Trine next week. But first things first, got to take care of business today against the Albion Britons. Welcome inside the Holland Home pregame show. So we get you set for tip-off between Albion and Calvin. Great to be joined by Mike Lefebvre and soon Derek DeVries, the assistant coach here at Calvin. Mike, Knights 3-0, seem to have bounced back after those tough losses back in December.
Yeah, good to get into the league play. A couple of those games were on the road, of course. Never, regardless of your opponent, those are never easy games on the road in the MIAA. And coming in now for a home game before, as you said, a big week next week.
2 losses for Calvin, both in holiday-type games against teams that very good teams. For Albion, they come in at 8-6, and a pretty impressive performance hosting Trine on Wednesday, losing just by 3 and having a chance to win the game down the stretch, leading with 3 minutes to go. It's a team that's really athletic. Not a lot of size. We'll talk to Derek DeVries about that. Not a lot of size, but certainly a lot of athleticism. Right.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that game, and as they, Albion was ahead with less than 4 minutes to go in the game. So when they're, on their home court, I'm sure they felt like they needed that one to come through. They, as you look at Albion's stats, very evenly matched with their opponents, both and a lot of the key metrics, the field goal percentages, the turnovers and rebounding and so forth. And so it'll be a big challenge for Albion, and matching up with Jalen Overway, of course, is the #1 objective of any team that's coming in here.
And big news today, Calvin, without Jordan Scott. We'll talk more about that as we're joined by Derek DeVries here on the Holland Home pre-game show. Derek, coming into this game, a couple of tough losses in December, but the team's bounced back to start out the MIAA season unbeaten. How do you feel? Where do you see this team developing here as we start January?
Yeah, we lost our way defensively a couple games on the road there and on those Christmas tournaments, but we've kind of found that back. Alma put way too many points on us, but last couple games we found that defensive fire back. The urgency is back, and just the physicality. I thought we got beat up a couple times in Mount Union with speed and with size, and we've kind of answered the bell on that front. And it's just complete buy-in. Sometimes we're not the fastest. We are big, but if you completely buy into what we're trying to do and they all do that, then you can stop people.
Albion, a team that not necessarily big, but I look at the rebounding stats, and one thing that jumps out at me is they rebound 40% of their misses. So it's an athletic team. Yeah. How do you prepare for that sort of aggressiveness on the offensive glass?
Well, they're not overtly tall, but they're big. Cam Mays and Michael Ume are unbelievably strong and have unbelievably, especially Ume, high motors. Ume, last game against Trine had 12 boards. So we got to do a really good job being physical with him and getting him out of the play.
Last question for you. Lineup change today. Jordan Scott out.
Yes, sir.
What's the lineup change replacing Jordan?
Yeah, so Brady Ewing will start today. We think he's a good matchup. We're really challenging him defensively. He's going to have to guard their best player. and that's not a bell he usually has to answer. So I'm excited to see. I think he can. See what he can do. He's guarding Cam Mays, and we'll see what he can do.
All right.
But yeah, looking to get off to a good start with the lineup. You know, injuries happen. Sucks, but it's part of the game. So.
Derek, thanks for joining us. Glad to have you. Good luck today.
Thanks, sir.
Derek DeVries is the assistant coach for the Calvin Knights on the Holland Home pregame show. Just moments away from tip-off, we're going to send it to Dan Spulma for our national anthem. And tonight's starting lineups brought to you. Today's starting lineups brought to you by Garrett's Appliances, offering the latest lineup of the top appliance brands at very competitive prices. That's Garrett's Appliance with locations in Wyoming and Kentwood. And now to PA announcer Dan Spulma.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. To honor America and those who protect our freedom at home and abroad, please sing along with the playing of our national anthem. Good afternoon and welcome to Van Orden Arena for today's conference game between the Britons from Albion College and your Calvin University Knights. Let's take a moment to meet today's starting lineups. First from Albion, starting the floor, 6'4" junior from Warren, 15, Chris Rose. And for the Knights, a 6'7" junior from Wisconsin, number 23, Pregame. For Albion, that forward, a 6'5" senior from Pontiac, number 23, Cam Mays. And for the Knights, the 6'7" junior from Grand Rapids, number 2, Parker Schwartz. For Albion, starting at guard, a 6' sophomore from Grand Rapids, number 1, Malachi Boozer. For the Knights, that forward, he's a 6'5" junior from McCain, number 1,
Today's starting lineups presented by and powered by Garrett's Appliance, offering the latest lineup of the top appliance brands at very competitive prices. Garrett's Appliance with locations in Wyoming and Kentwood. Mike LeFevre, the big news, the Jordan Scott injury. What does that look like for this team?
Yeah, Jordan has obviously gotten a lot of minutes, and he is the guy that can push the tempo for the team. I don't think Jordan has been, happy with the field goal percentage he's been shooting this year, but he has the ability to really create things for the Knights. And so somebody's going to have to pick up that slack.
And it's a big Calvin lineup when you consider Schwartz and Overway and Ewing all at least 6'7". Big size advantage for the Knights. We'll see how that plays out here today. Underway from Van Orden Arena. Great to have you with us on this chilly Saturday afternoon for this key MIAA matchup. Knights control the tip and go on offense first. Albion in that man-to-man defense. Their starting lineup, Curtis Rhodes, a 6'4" junior from Warren Lincoln. He wears number 15. Malachi Hooser, the local kid from Grand Rapids Christian, number 1. Truman King, number 20, watching Parker Schwartz. And a nice cut by Wrestler, and he finds Ewing right wing, launches a 3 off the mark. Pinballed to Cameron Mays, the best player statistically for Albion, into the front court to Rhodes. Fakes the 3, drives, and lost it out of bounds. It'll be an interesting matchup because Rhodes can really score from all levels, and he's got Ewing on him, who's a bit bigger, probably not as quick. So we'll see how Brady Ewing can stay in front of Curtis Rhodes.
I think Coach Saul will have guys aware to provide Ewing with help if he puts it on the floor.
The rest of that starting lineup for Albion has Michael Ume, number 30 at centers. Calvin works it down low to Wrestler. He backs in on Hooser. Lofts the teardrop off the back of the iron, controlled by Ume. Head to Cam Mays. He's a 6'5" senior from Detroit Catholic Central. Kicks it out to Rhodes, and their best 3-point shooter splashes down the left point jumper to open the scoring. 3-0 Albion. Hooser, again from Grand Rapids Christian. Wrestler from Grand Rapids Catholic Central, so those two guys very familiar underneath. Down low, right block, fall away jumper by Trevin Winkle. Goes down the hatch, and it's 3-2. He's been so good lately, shooting 57% from 2, 43 from 3, 85% from the line. Has raised his average to 13 points a game. So critical at that small forward spot. Runner by Mays, wouldn't go, but Ume there for the follow. He averages 8.5 rebounds a game. Had a double-double, 18 and 20, Mike, against Trine on Wednesday. He's a rebounding machine, and they've got to watch him on the offensive glass. Down low, Overway, double team. Knights cycle it around right baseline. Wrestler backs in on King. Called for the foul, and that looks to be an early strategy, is getting Luca Wrestler posted down low on the block. Yeah,
both Wrestler and Winkle have potential matchup advantages down there, and they do a nice job of taking advantage of that.
It is a big Calvin lineup. Figure 6'6", 6'7" with Schwartz, 6'7" with Ewing, and of course Overway at 6'10". Wrestler probes to Winkle, now skip pass, left corner. 3 ball off the mark from Brady Ewing. Has really improved his 3-point shooting coming into this one as well. Averaging 45% from downtown. Overway controls the boards, ahead to Ewing. Blasts his way towards the goal, got it to go, and off the glass. He'll shoot a free throw, looking for a 3-point play. Brady Ewing, 6'7", 225-pound junior from Petoskey. He's averaging 4.5 points a game. Saw a lot of action last year, though, so this key role, nothing new for him, really.
Nothing new, and he's coming off of a couple games where he's knocking down some 3-point shots, so he's stepping into a bigger role. And you know, when somebody goes down with an injury, it provides an opportunity for somebody else. So we'll see what Brady can do to step into that further.
Hooser gets a step on Wrestler, now guns it back to Ume. Not really an outside shooter is Ume, but they'll try to post him up down low. Step back 3, knocked down beautifully by Cam Mays over the top of Ewing. It's 8-5. Albion not necessarily a great 3-point shooting team, coming in at just 32%. They make their money down low with the athletic and offensive rebounding. Good spin move by Schwartz, and you called it early on. Schwartz, Winkle, Wrestler trying to get guys posted up down low to take advantage of these favorable size matchups. Yep, absolutely. Got a chance to shoot a lot of free throws today because Albion won't have much they can do to stop that. You know, Bob, back to, we were talking about Ume. He's given up some inches to Jalen Overway, but he's an athletic and very strong young man. And I think it's going to be one of the bigger challenges for Jalen that the league's going to present him this year. 6'5" senior out of Macomb, Dakota, averaging 12 points and 8 rebounds a game. He has committed 34 turnovers, too. So offensively, that is an area where perhaps Calvin's got a chance to put some pressure on the postman. Substitution for Albion, B.J. Hunter checks into the game. He's a fifth-year senior from Dallas, Texas. It's the only non-Michigander in the rotation for the Britons. Albion by 1 here, 16.5 to go. Hunter works on McElwain, who's checked in for Calvin. Hooser off the bounce, spins on Schwartz, and they'll call the block. Should be on the floor. Out of bounds to the Britons. Miles Pritchett checking in for Michael Ume. Topside Mays working on Schwartz. Walled off nicely, spins in the lane, couldn't get it to go, and crashing the boards, Justin McElwain. Wrestler right corner to Winkle. One-on-one with Curtis Rhodes. Whistle a foul on Rhodes. 15:58 to go. TV timeout. 8-7. Albion on top here as we get our first break. Fans, today's featured Calvin basketball student athlete planning for success is Jalen Overway. The 6'10 junior from Holland Christian is majoring in marketing, and just this week was named to the top 100 watch list for the Bevo Francis Award, presented annually to the finest small college basketball player in America. That's Planning for Success, presented by Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, providing the financial clarity, solutions, and service that allow you to focus on what you care about most. Today's game, we're watching for the Visser Brothers teamwork of the game, a key play where Calvin has planned, managed, and executed correctly. It's the Visser Brothers teamwork of the game, presented by Visser Brothers General Contractors, where a team of dedicated project professionals knows how to maintain your construction process on schedule and on budget. Just underway here on the Saturday afternoon. Good crowd still filing into Van Noord Arena. Students here still a couple days away, 3 days away from resuming classes. Good to get them back on. But Mike, this is a big game for the Knights today. It's in preparation, but in advance really of 2 huge matchups next week. Wednesday at Trine, and then of course the rivalry game next Saturday at Hope. If you're Bill Saul, how do you keep the guys focused on a day like today?
Yeah, you know, I think the message is that every game is a big game, right? Like they losing a few games in the preseason schedule. You know, Kelvin's got aspirations of winning the conference championship this year, but have some bigger aspirations than that too. And one of those is trying to get a home court advantage in a tournament game.
Good probe by Winkle, then kicks it out to Parker Schwartz, who cans a left point 3, and that's good to see. That's, you and I have talked all season long. He is really a linchpin to the success for this team. Only shooting 23% from downtown. That number has got to improve as this team moves through the winter. Yeah,
good to see him make that first one. When that first one goes in, they're often followed by more.
Working the lane is Hooser, the left-handed elbow jumper. Too strong, out of bounds though. It'll stay with Albion. Substitution for the Britons, Dwayne Ray checks in, another guard, 5'9" junior out of North Farmington. Averages 6.5 a game. Their top scorers are the big guys underneath, Mays and Ume, and the guards who are in the rotation contribute about 20 points a game. Right block, turnaround jumper, no by B.J. Hunter. Rebound pushed was Overway, and the foul will go on Mason Brody, just checked in as well. Another guard, sophomore out of Utica, gets called for that push. Zion Ruckert works the press into the game now for Calvin. Critical role for him was Jordan Scott out as well.
Absolutely, especially if the other team's going to put on a press like that. Ruckert's ball handling skills will be key.
Well, it's got to be somebody to spell wrestler a little bit, too. First touch for Overway, down low, and he makes the most of it with an easy spin move and 2 over Miles Pritchett. Boy, that looked good. That's the first touch he's had down low.
It really is,
5 minutes in. Knights by 4, their biggest margin of the game. Albion is led by 3 in the early going. Mason Brody, number 0, trying to work the left baseline, can't do it. Kicks it back out to Hunter. Now they feed Ray. He tries to get a step on Ruckert, but walled off nicely. 4 on the shot, so Ray will Jack one up from the top side. No. And rebound controlled by Calvin. Did a good job on the defensive boards thus far.
Yep, good job on the boards, and that was a great defensive sequence by Calvin.
Overway hands to Winkle, right back to Overway down low. Mismatch on King. He'll go up strong and lays it in. Jalen Overway on a nice feed. 14-8. That's 9 in a row for the Knights here as they have opened up a bit of a gap in the early going. Pritchett left wing to Hunter. Back to Mays. He's been held in check so far. Long three from Truman King, or rather Mason Brody off the glass. Breaks the scoring drought for Albion. It's 14-11. Rucker probes the right baseline. Overway will try for three. Off the front of the rim. Battle for the ball controlled by Brody. Quickly head to Hunter. Nice move on McElwain. Ran into traffic. Lost it off his foot. Rucker back the other way. Puts on the brakes, leaves for Winkle, topside three, won't go. Chased down in the right corner by Ray. Ray spins on Rucker, gets to the paint. Right corner jumper from Brody on its way. Had everything but going down, and Overway controls the boards again. 12:50 to go. 14-11, Knights on top. Winkle between the rings. Now they find Overway in the lane. Powers it up and in. Unstoppable has been Jalen Overway and his 3 touches.
That's a tough matchup for Albion.
To the hole, Hunter. Walled off nicely by McElwain. Gives to Pritchett. That is his shot altered by Overway. Jalen gathers the rebound. Head to Swartz on the right wing. Overway doubled in the right block. Feeds McElwain left side. Tries to get a step on Hunter. Has to pull up from the free throw line. Wouldn't go. Good box out by the Britons. Controlled by Brody. Front court Mays. Will set up Hunter on the right wing. Wheels it back right side to Ray. He finds room on the baseline. To Mays, open three from the right point is Brody. Splashes it home. A couple of threes for Mason Brody. Albion's back within 2, inside of 12 to go. Overway's gone the distance so far. Hand off to Winkle. Oh, beautiful high arcing triple from the left point. Trevin Winkle with his second three. Blocking foul on McElwain takes us to the under 12 timeout. Fans in today's game will be looking for our Energizing the Knights player who gives Calvin a key lift in the game. It's brought to you by Playa Bowls, located at Knapp's Corner in Grand Rapids. They use the freshest, highest quality ingredients. Playa Bowls serving healthy, delicious acai, pitaya, coconut bowls, and smoothies. It's your morning booster or your lunch break dream. Playa Bowls at Knapp's Corner. Today's first half is also brought to you by Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, partnering with you to help unlock your financial potential and build your legacy. What's your aptitude toward acai and smoothies?
You had me a little distracted as you were talking about them because it sounds awfully good. They are refreshing. I actually had one of those just a couple weeks ago, so I can speak from firsthand experience.
First half shooting so far, Calvin ripping the nets at 54%, just 38% for the Britons, although they have hit 4 of 6 from downtown. That's kept this game somewhat close, 19-14. A lot of points early on. We heard Derek DeVries talk about how the defense, Mike, is needing to improve. Did it a little bit after those 2 losses after the break. And what's your thoughts so far on the Calvin defense here in the first half?
Yeah, I especially this last segment here, this last 4-minute segment, I thought the defense was very strong. I'm not sure that Albion's looking for the 3. I'm not sure that that's how their offense is necessarily wired. A couple players out there that can certainly make them, but other than closing down on those periodically, the defense has looked pretty good so far.
Mason Brody for Albion, Jalen Overway for Calvin. Game's leading scorers thus far with 6 points apiece. Speaking of Brody, he's got another look and fires it up and in over Brady Ewing, the third three ball that has gone down the hatch for Mason Brody, and it's a 2-point game again.
He certainly has earned the right to be guarded tightly out there now.
Winkle now with that size advantage, but a good steal from Ume. Stuck his hand in there and caused the tie-up, and we'll see how much Albion tries to dig on those low post entry passes.
Yeah, you got to be careful putting the ball on the floor because they're coming in digging. Digging is the right word. They're coming in after it.
Britain's looking to tie or take the lead here. They have not had the edge since their 8-5 margin 7 minutes ago. Curtis Rose shows the three. Good strong take to the rim, and there's that offensive rebounding. First time we've really seen it from Albion. Michael Ume following that shot. He'll go to the line as he was hacked on the putback.
Yeah, it's a great job by Ume crashing the boards. Jalen Overway went to help with his teammate driving, and that left him nobody blocking him out. And so that's a guy like that goes to work at that point.
It's a stunning stat, though, when you look at it. Albion coming into this game as Ume hit the first free throw, rebounding 40% of their misses. The average typically is going to be around 30, a quarter to a third. 40%. They attack the glass. Ume splits the pair. Winkle gathers it in and guns it ahead to Parker Schwartz. Knights by 1 as we approach the halfway point of the first half. Wrestler looking for Schwartz underneath. He's got him on Curtis Rhodes. Went up, no foul, and Ume wrestles the loose ball away. Quickly ahead to Dwayne Ray, up on Wrestler. No, battle for the rebound. There's Ume again. They'll call a quick whistle jump ball. Michael Ume looks like a tight end, doesn't he?
He does. He does. He's a very sculpted young man and plays very aggressively as well. So he's a load down there. You have to keep him off the boards.
Third in the MIAA in rebounds. He's had 4 double-doubles this season. Shooting 60% from 2 and has not even attempted a 3. Good hands to strip it away from McElwain. McElwain recovers, though, and gives it to Ben Hegel, who's now into the game for Calvin. Schwartz, right wing. It's an aggressive defense. Gets a cutting Wrestler down the right side. Pump fake over Ume. Couldn't get it to go. The tip no by Hegel. Hunter comes away with it for Albion. Head to Brody. Reset with Ray. Shakes and bakes on Wrestler. Stops at the free throw line. These for Rhodes, who just can't seem to turn the corner on Schwartz, but they whistle Schwartz for that push. And they'll get Ruckert and Overway back into the game for Calvin. Interesting story on Albion. They traveled to France this year, one of those cool off-season summer trips, and spent time with the city of Albion's sister city over in France. You mentioned their three-point attack, really not. They ranked 7th in the MIAA in three-point shooting. So the key for Calvin is to keep them off the glass.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Boozer left point, watched by Ruckert. Not a Hunter. Tries to get a step on Wrestler. Overway, deep drop coverage there. No need to worry about Ume out high. Cam Mays turns the corner on McElwain. Fires it out of bounds, and I think it was tipped by the Knights. It'll stay with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Good defensive set again there by Calvin.
Yeah, Albion wants to drive to the basket consistently, and that's that's hard work on the defense. But the Knights are up to the task so far.
The other benefit that provides you is if you beat your man to the glass and somebody's got to help pick up, that often leaves a unblocked out offensive player.
Right.
Great defense by Calvin on this one. Mays had to force up a off-balance 3. Ewing controls the boards ahead to Ruckert. Now Wrestler at the left point uses the Overway screen. Looks for Jalen underneath. They find him. Double team down low. Quick double by Mays and Ume. Nice cycle it around. Now to Jaden Kiefer, who's checked into the game, number 30. 7 on the shot clock. Ewing can't shed his defender, so step back 3, no. Battle for the rebound between Ume and Overway, and they'll get Jalen Overway over the top. 15 foul on the Knights. Albion also with 5. Britain's doing a pretty good job, Mike, of keeping the ball out of Overway's hands underneath on the entry passes.
Yep, they really are. They're bringing a strong double team. And Kamume is going to get a break here. But, yeah, Calvin's good. Needs to knock down a couple outside shots, which is kind of the story of the season. When Overway's drawing a lot of attention, he's kicking it out. Those shots got to go in.
Britain's coached by Jody May, been the head man at Albion since 2008. Before that was an assistant. Here's a nice backdoor to Cameron Mays. Blocked from behind beautifully by Brady Ewing. Wrestler on the move into the front court. Uses the Overway screen. Try the entry pass from Ewing to Overway. Knocked out of bounds nicely by the Brits. And with 8:09 to go, Calvin holding on to that 19-18 lead. It's been that way for about 2 minutes. We have a bit of a scoring drought.
Yeah, stuck on 19 for a while.
Overway backs down, now flips it beautifully to Wrestler, who lays it in. Good assist from Jalen Overway. His numbers as a guy dropping dimes has really improved. Now averages 4 assists a game. When you get doubled, the better you can find that open man, the more dangerous the offense is. Boozer fall away from the right wing, mid-range jumper. Hits high off the rim and falls through. 21-20. Quickly back the other way as Wrestler all the way to the hole. Hammered as he elevated. Ethan Woolery get called for the foul, and that'll take us to the under 8 timeout. 21-20. Calvin on top. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Holland Home. Since 1892, Holland Home has been providing vibrant independent living, compassionate assisted living, excellent skilled nursing, and person-centered dementia care. Holland Home is proud to offer 3 unique communities designed to help older adults live fully and vibrantly. Whether at Bretton Woods, Raybrook, or Holland Home's newest community coming soon, the Aberdeen in Ada, you'll find welcoming spaces, thoughtful amenities, and opportunities to nurture friendships old and new. Fans today will be watching for our defensive player of the game. Mike Lefebvre will name that at the conclusion of the broadcast. It's brought to you by Straight Line Fence. Straight Line Fence transforming properties across Michigan by crafting fences that provide sanctuary, security, and self-expression. Committed to care and craftsmanship, Straight Line Fence has earned a reputation as Michigan's most trusted fence installers. Call Straight Line Fence today to start building something beautiful. MIAA standings, Calvin atop the list at 3-0. Hope right there as well. Hope knocked off Trine by a deuce a couple of weeks ago. Calvin will go to Trine on Wednesday before heading to Holland on Saturday night. You and I will be there for the call on 96.1 Michigan Sports Radio. Also doubleheader that day. Next Saturday, we're right back here for Calvin Hope Women's at 3 o'clock on Calvin Sports Network and Michigan Sports Radio. Again, I'm expecting either a charter helicopter, charter flight from Ford International over to Holland to get us there.
We're still working on that connection. If anybody out there listening has an idea for us, we're all ears.
I mean, if Kirk Herbstreit can do ESPN Game Day in the morning and go be ready for a kickoff down south at 5 or 6 o'clock, you got to furnish this helicopter.
Got to at least get to Holland.
Been a good one today. 21-20, Knights on top. Albion's biggest lead was 3 points. Calvin led at one time by 6. Cleanly played game 2, Mike. Just 1 turnover in the game for Calvin and just 2 for Albion.
Yeah, both teams. You look at that assist to turnover ratio, which 2-to-1 is often a good metric for that. And Calvin with 7 assists, so they're finding the right man, the open man in those. But Albion as well, 5 assists to 2 turnovers. So both teams playing pretty efficiently. I think Calvin's holding Albion to the field goal percentage they want, but Albion's got 4 offensive rebounds, so providing some second chances that are keeping them in this game.
Speaking of that assist to turnover ratio, Luca Wrestler leads the MIAA in that category. Averaging 5 assists and 2 turnovers a game. And speaking of, he'll go to the free throw line after the foul on Ethan Woolery. Wrestler will shoot 2. Not sure what they were checking on the video there.
Yeah, he went hard. He went strong to the basket and took a foul, but it didn't look anything out of the ordinary.
Wrestler sinks both of the free throws. 23-20. Calvin on top. 7.5 to go here in the first half. Right side, Dwayne Ray. Back to Ume, top of the key. Brody tries to shake Kiefer. The Hoosier. They get what they want, and that's Ume down at the right block, but Overway walls him off. Hoosier pull up from left elbow. Oh, bailed out really by Trevin Winkle, because Winkle, Mike, had played great defense there and just kept those arms a little less than vertical, and Hoosier sees that opportunity. He'll go to the line for 2. Malachi Hoosier played at Grand Rapids Christian for Eric Taylor, one of 2 former Eagles on this Albion Britain team. Tyler Davis, the other, the freshman. A couple of great teams that Eric Taylor coached the last couple of years. Left-hander splits the pair. Ewing clears the glass, and left wrestler will set it up into the front court. Top side Overway. Hands to McElwain. Oh, they find Overway underneath. Albion lost him as he drifted down after that handoff.
Jody May is going to be asking his team how they lost the big man.
That's what he's having a conversation with Michael Ume right now. Jalen set that screen and then just sort of waltzed his way down to the right block.
And kind of forgot about him.
Good entry pass. He'll go to the line. Jalen, a 64% free throw shooter, shooting 64% from the line.
Ume just came out of the game hobbling a little bit. We'll see if he can walk that off or if he's got something going on there.
Got them both. 25-21 Calvin. Hoosier watched by Swartz. Big size differential there. Woolery checked back into the game for Ume. Ray tries to get free. He'll leave it for Woolery. 3-ball. I would say Calvin will take that in a heartbeat.
I think so.
Ethan Woolery. Easy rebound for Overway. Wrestler spins out of that Overway screen. Slipped as he tried to kick it back out to Swartz. Now they get Overway down along the block. So nice drop step move on Woolery. Goes up and has it blocked from behind. Good defensive play by the 6'6" junior from Romulus. Cameron Mays back the other way. He can't hit the floater. Mays with just 3 points. Averaging 14 a game coming in. Open 3, left wing. Won't go from Parker Swartz. Weak side rebound to Hoosier. Stutter step. Burst to the cup. And dumps it back off to Ray. And as he drives, he's pushed by McElwain. That's the 7th team foul on Calvin. And that'll send Ray to the stripe for a 1-on-1. Cameron Rhodes with just 3 points. Rather, Cameron Mays with 3 points. Curtis Rhodes with just 3. How many times do we see this high-scoring wings come into this gym and Calvin finds a way to shut them down?
Yep.
But it's a balanced backcourt attack from Albion. They got a lot of guys who can create shots. That'll be a story today, just to see how well the Britons adjust to those big guys, Ume and Mays and Rhodes, being corralled, and who can pick up the slack.
Right.
Top side Hegel. Now Wrestler backing in on Ray. Double team, and Ray stripped it. 2-on-2 if he hurries. Dwayne Ray will circle back out. Here's May flying down the lane. And a whistle and a foul on Ewing on the floor. And that's what Albion wants, to get Cam Mays in the open court. Punch into the hole.
You know, back to the other end of the court, Bob. Albion doing a really nice job when a Calvin player posts up. and then once he starts to commit, they bring that double team. And in that case, Luca Ressler didn't even see him coming, and suddenly he's in a tough spot, lost the ball.
First free throw cuts the lead to 1. Just the second turnover for the Knights. Taking care of the ball well here in this first half. Albion has 2. They have only a pair of cough-ups. Tied at 25 as we hit the 5-minute mark. Ressler hounded by Ray. Between the rings to Hegel. He's guarded there by Woolery. Got to get Swartz loose as well. Now Hegel underneath with a good strong move on Rhodes. Powers his way up and drew the contact. Ben Hegel, 6'6" sophomore out of Byron Center. In Jordan Scott's absence, who's your guy that sort of would surprise you as the next step? I mean, you know, Ruckard's got to play well. McElwain's been getting some time. Ewing obviously started today.
Yeah.
But who's that 9th guy that's got to move to the 8th spot?
Yeah, I mean, it might be Hegel, but Hegel's not going to be your scorer type. He's a little more of the hustle guy, and unfortunately can't knock down either one of his free throws. But yeah, they need somebody. It's got to be more of a group effort, I think. I'm not sure it's going to be one guy.
Britton's with a chance to take the lead here. Woolery eyes the 3. Thought better of it. Resets with Cam Mays. To get a step on Hegel, good defense. Now he splits that double team, but Calvin recovered well and blocked that shot away. Ressler racing into the front court. McElwain stops at the left elbow. And they cycle it back out to Ressler. Powers in on Ray and lays it in. That's what Calvin wants to do, and Luca Ressler answers.
Yeah, great job using his size advantage there.
Ressler now with 4. 5 Knights have scored between 3 and 8 points. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line is too strong from Mays. Rebound gathered by Ressler. Swartz backing in on the corner, has his pass tipped away and stolen by Mason Brody. Head to Hunter. His driving layup was blocked beautifully by McElwain. Ewing turns it over though as he tried to strike one to Swartz, and wild back and forth. Neither team really able to complete a pass. Kind of looks like an inept passing game there, and that brings us to the under 4 timeout with Calvin nursing a 2-point lead, 27-25. Fans inside Calvin basketball is returning for its 2nd season beginning Monday, February 2nd. Join us at Big E's Sports Grill on East Beltline at 6:30 p.m. each Monday in February to get the scoop on Calvin basketball from Bill Saul and his players. The show airs live on 96.1 The Game. Come on out to Big E's and hang out with Calvin fans for fun basketball talk and delicious menu items, including the $10 burger and drink special. That's inside Calvin basketball Monday nights in February at Big E's on East Beltline in Grand Rapids. Bergsma Plumbing is your #1 West Michigan choice when it comes to plumbing. Bergsma Plumbing is a family-owned and family-run business that values relationships with clients. For competitive prices, you stay within budget for your next plumbing project or repair. Bergsma Plumbing helps you understand the problem and the plan to fix it. They believe that informed clients make the best clients. That's Bergsma Plumbing, available 24/7. 27-25. Your thoughts on this one in terms of what you expected?
Well, we talked a lot about Albion's size or lack thereof coming into the game, and I think they're doing a really nice job, really, in the entirety of their defensive effort, but especially in the paint. Jalen Overway had a little bit of a stretch there where he got a few baskets in a row, but for the most part, they're making it really difficult for Calvin on Calvin's offensive end.
To Calvin's credit, the Knights have done a great job on the defensive glass. They've limited Albion to just 3 rebounds. That's an area where the Britons really excel. And
yep.
Really a well-played basketball game so far. Been a lot of fun here this first half. Probably not going to tell that to Bill Saul. not considering it the same degree of glee that we are here in terms of being entertained.
Bill's got a little different view on what's a well-played basketball game.
Ethan Woolery gets away with a little shuffle there. Right elbow leaves it for Truman King back in the game. He started for Albion. Mays top side, long right point three, buried by Dwayne Ray. And Albion has their first lead since 4 minutes in when they led 8-5. It's 28-27. McElwain hassled over there by Hunter. So he'll step back for three and splash it down. Good awareness by Justin McElwain.
That's sticking with it.
Back the other way. King has his triple blocked by Parker Schwartz. Knights on a run out with Ruckert. Hesitates at the left elbow. Kicks it out to McElwain. Now feeds Schwartz between the rings. Overway. Left point. Hands to Ruckert. Overway will eye the three. Looked good, but rimmed out into the hands of Cam Mays. 2:20 to go. Scoring has really settled down after a... Oh, and there we go as Cam Mays rattles home a triple. I was about to say the scoring has settled down a little bit. But since that 19-14 flurry in the first 8 minutes, defenses have settled in. Cam Mays gives Albion a 2-point lead. Knights get it where they want it. Overway against Woolery. Woolery hammers him on the way up, and that'll send Jalen Overway to the line. Woolery averaging just 6 minutes a game. He's played in 9 games, but probably getting more action today because, as you said earlier, if you're Albion, you're going to throw a lot of guys at Jalen Overway down low.
Right. Yeah. And Ume, who I think looks like he's checking in now, but he had an extended break here as well. So.
Woolery sits down. Ume returns. Mason Brody also back in the lineup for Truman King. Overway's 9th point. He leads Calvin in scoring. 31-30 with 2 to go here in the first half. Dwayne Ray sets up the offense, the junior from North Farmington. He'll fire left point triple, and Dwayne Ray is heated up here as we come towards the close of the first half. Ray now with 5. 34-30, biggest lead of the game for Albion. Wrestler probes that left block. Hands it off to Overway. They get it right wing to Kiefer, or right corner three rather. Airballed into the hands of Ume. On the run is Albion. Stutter step. Ray finds Ume underneath, and it's 36-30. And Bill Saul wants a timeout. That's Dwayne Ray with now 8 points and 1 assist, really triggering this Albion offense here in the last few minutes. Stay tuned for today's halftime show, built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. We'll get you caught up on the first half stats. Michael Faber's analysis. First half stats brought to you by Advantage Commercial Real Estate. And fill you in on some great stories from Calvin alumni doing some wonderful things around the globe here in 2025. Biggest lead of the game for Albion.
Albion really playing with a lot of energy on both ends of the court right now. Kudos to them. They're coming in, with a shooting percentage, although they just knocked down a couple threes, which certainly helps their cause. But it's not like they're lighting it up here this half, but it's been through a lot of effort and on both ends of the court.
Calvin swept this series last year, won both games handily. Albion did not have a double-figure scorer in the first game, and in the second game shot just 29%. So it is a different Britain offense here in 2026 as these two teams meet. Ruckert works the right side, leaves for Wrestler, right wing three. Garam's off the ring, but nice hustle by Brady Ewing to pick up the offensive rebound. Feeds Zion Ruckert top side, and give Brady Ewing credit there.
That's a really big play.
Stops the run by Albion, reduces the lead to 3. Brody shut down by Kiefer. Right side, Dwayne Ray. Handoff from Mays. Step back three over Ewing. Around and out. Overway with a good block out. Gathers the boards, and here come the Knights quickly into the front court. Wrestler has had his hands full with Dwayne Ray here these last 10 minutes. Calvin will play for the last shot. Actually about a 1 1.5 second differential on the shot clock and game clock. Wrestler double team, hit right in the back. Leaves for Ewing, now dumps underneath to Overway and couldn't hit the little jump hook, and that's the way the first half ends. 36-33. Albion on top. Bill Saul wanted a foul on that last double team near the timeline on Luca Wrestler. Didn't get it. And we go to the break with Albion up 36-33. Welcome inside today's halftime show, beautifully built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. Whether your next project is an urban renewal in the city, a remodel of the family lake house, or a new country estate, the Insignia Homes and True Kitchens team is ready to bring your vision to life. Mike, your thoughts on the first half? It's been a good one.
Very competitive, much more so than I would have anticipated coming into this. Give Albion a lot of credit. They're playing very hard on both ends of the court, and while neither team it's not necessarily always efficient in every category. Very competitive game, and should be a great second half.
Today's halftime statistics brought to you by Advantage Commercial Real Estate, your experienced commercial real estate advisors in West Michigan. And just the shooting percentages, Albion shooting just 36%. But here's the big stat for them. The team that we thought really wouldn't hurt Calvin too much from beyond the arc, 8 of 12 from three.
Yep.
This is a team that shoots 32% from behind the three-point line, and they're knocking them down at a 67% clip here in the first half. They've also got to the line 8 times where they've hit 6 free throws. For Calvin, shooting just 41% and 27%, but a lot of credit, as you said, to that energized Albion defense. Scoring leaders after the first half, Jalen Overway with 9, Luca Wrestler with 6, Parker Swartz with 5 for Calvin. For Albion, 9 from Mason Brody on 3 threes. Dwayne Ray's added 8, all of them late in the first half. 8 also for Cameron Mays. Rebounding totals pretty close, 20 for Albion, 18 for the Knights. How about this stat, Mike, too? Just 1 offensive rebound for Calvin in the first half. You said it, this is a really energized Albion team, and they're playing really well defensively and on the boards.
Yep, they really are. Yep.
Those are today's halftime stats provided by Advantage Commercial Real Estate, delivering unparalleled commercial real estate services in West Michigan by leveraging the expertise of our seasoned advisors. Today's halftime show brought to you by Insignia Homes, built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. Moves on. We'll take you upstairs as our producer Alan brings you features on Calvin's great alumni doing wonderful things here throughout the country and around the world. That's coming up on the Insignia Homes halftime show.
When I got the call from the people from the Order of Canada, from the Governor General's office, I didn't even know what to say. It's an award that's one of the highest civilian honors for Canada, and it was a big deal and mattered tremendously. And it also put a spotlight on autism in a way that hadn't been done nationally. Well, when I think back on it, about my career journey, it really started with softball. And the team had 2 women coaches who were awesome. They were women who smoked and wore lipstick and were not afraid to play good baseball. At the end of the season, they said, gather around, girls. We need people to work at a summer camp, a camp for children with disabilities. Until I worked at that camp, I'd never met a person who was autistic. And it was transformative for me. Often the field attracts people who themselves feel sometimes marginalized. So my special education experience at Calvin led me to think differently about what it meant to be a responsible citizen. Autism Ontario is just entering its 51st year. We serve over 50,000 families, and we help them to find ways to advocate and to tell the story of autism in many ways. We run programs and events that bring people together to connect on relationships. We speak with government leaders, and we talk about what autism is to the community and to speak about public awareness and acceptance. We had an opportunity to speak with government, and out of that came an advisory panel. And that only comes through hard work, real stories, and saying, okay, on this we can agree. One of the things we failed to do for many years is ask people what their experience is in being autistic. How does that feel? What are the things that are hard for you? And that affects change because people learn about people's stories and how they have more in common than different. I think very much about my mother's own faith walk and how that informed my life. My mother was about doing justice and loving mercy to every person she came in contact with. And she instilled that in myself and my siblings, and how we needed to not be afraid of difference, and that difference is actually a gift of creation. If I think about students who are coming to Calvin today, what I really recommend is get as many experiences as you can while you're here. This is one piece of time in your life, but it can be formative for many years to come.
Whether it's a first savings account or a mortgage down the road, Lake Michigan Credit Union is there every step of the way. As a proud sponsor of Calvin Athletics, LMCU is investing in what matters: student success, strong communities, and a bright future for all. Thank you, LMCU, for helping our student athletes and our neighbors dream big and bank smart.
Biggie's Sports Grill, your next destination for any occasion.
With incredible entertainment and amazing food that makes you want to come back for more.
Where family memories are made.
Where sports are enjoyed and friends gather.
Cheers to good times, great friends, and a place where the game is always on. Only at Big E's.
At Calvin University, innovation powers everything we do, from the classroom to the field. It's how we learn, how we lead, and how we grow together. That's why we're proud to partner with Applied Innovation, a regional company providing practical advice and cutting-edge technology, automation and imaging to drive business forward. Thank you, Applied Innovation, for investing in the future, ours and yours.
I love the NABE Scholarship Program because I just love how personal these scholarships are for the alumni and for the students. Being a student who grew up in foster care and then getting a scholarship for students who were in foster care and being able to connect with that donor and see the love and the passion that they have for me and being able to resonate with me and what I've gone through. God opened doors that I didn't even know were there. I'm at Calvin and my legacy is starting here.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
I hadn't had any research experience prior to the research I did in Doug Vandegrin's lab after my freshman year. It was through the experience in that lab that I realized how much I loved not just science, but doing research and sort of the open-endedness of research. We were trying to tackle problems that nobody had the answer to. That was absolutely formative. The work we do in my lab is broadly motivated by energy. One of the challenges with renewable sources is that they're intermittent. And so they necessitate efficient storage mechanisms. In many cases, we are not yet at the stage where these storage mechanisms are as efficient as we would like them to be. What my lab discovered is that by taking 2 layers of a very, very thin crystal and twisting them to a small angle, we can dramatically improve how efficiently that surface will transfer electrons to a molecule in a liquid. And so this particular work that we did, I think, exemplifies an approach of my group, which is to be open-minded about taking problems, methods in one discipline, and to think about how we can translate those ideas over to tackle problems in, say, chemistry. It really comes down to that question of stewardship. How can we be better stewards of what has been sort of entrusted to us? In teaching and mentoring, seeing in every person that I interact with that they are the image of God, that can shape, I think, in powerful ways how we relate to people. Those principles are derived critically from my beliefs, my faith, and what I learned to think about much more deeply here at Calvin. It's certainly made me place a high value on the undergraduate research, even though I still have PhD students and I still have postdocs. The way I mentor my undergraduate researchers in my lab, I think that's been inspired by the models that I saw in the department here at Calvin, and how those faculty invested so much in us. And hopefully many Calvin students can bring this idea of stewardship to tackle some of the looming challenges that we have.
Whether it's a first savings account or a mortgage down the road, Lake Michigan Credit Union is there every step of the way. As a proud sponsor of Calvin Athletics, LMCU is investing in what matters: student success, strong communities, and a bright future for all. Thank you, LMCU, for helping our student athletes and our neighbors dream big and bank smart.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
Big E's Sports Grill, your next destination for any occasion.
With incredible entertainment and amazing food that makes you want to come back for more.
Where family memories are made.
Where sports are enjoyed and friends gather.
Cheers to good times, great friends, and a place where the game is always on. Only at Big E's.
At Calvin University, innovation powers everything we do, from the classroom to the field. It's how we learn, how we lead, and how we grow together. That's why we're proud to partner with Applied Innovation, a regional company providing practical advice and cutting-edge technology, automation and imaging to drive business forward. Thank you, Applied Innovation, for investing in the future, ours and yours.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
Welcome back as we conclude the halftime show built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. Bob Sack alongside former Calvin national champ Mike Lefebvre, 36-33 at halftime. Albion surprising Calvin. And Mike, boy, you said at the end of the first half, this Albion team's played really inspired, particularly on the defensive end. Your Bill Saul, what did you say at halftime?
Well, they got to close out on the three-point shooter, obviously. Albion, it's a surprise to see them go 8 out of 12 based on what they've done coming into the, so far this season. But they're proving today that they're going to knock those shots down. So the defense has got to adjust. And then on the offensive end, I think Calvin's got just 3 out of 11 from the three-point line for Calvin. Albion doing a great job in their interior defense, whether it's Jalen Overway or anybody else, bringing double teams and so forth. But the outside shooters have got to make them pay for that.
That concludes today's halftime show, built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. Whether your next project is an urban renewal in the city, a remodel of the family lake house, or a new country estate, the Insignia Homes team is ready to bring your vision to life. Calvin will start the second half with the same 5 that started the game. Good to see Luca Ressler back in the lineup. He took a shot there at the end of the half. For Albion, it is the same 5 that started the game for them as well. Hooser, King, Ume, Mays, and Rhodes. Mays trying to back down Ewing, finds a cutting Ume as he skies to lay it in. He's hacked on the way up by Overway. That is his second foul, Jalen's second foul, and that will send Ume to the stripe. Ume fairly quiet, just 5 points in the first half. As he hits the first free throw, he averages 12.5 a game. Cam Mays and Curtis Rhodes and Ume all between 12 and 13.5 points per game. So that front court trio, which really drives this team. Missed free throw, but the long high carom comes away to Cameron Mays. Now there's chance here, the 4th offensive rebound for the Britons. King feeds Mays, drives the baseline, reverse layup, up and in. Boy, he muscled it up between 3 different Calvin Knights. Ressler gets called for the personal, and that'll send Cam Mays to the free throw line, looking to expand Albion's lead to 7, which would be their biggest of the game.
We talked about Ume and his strength, and so Mays is similar. Very, very strong player, and he definitely looks to take the ball to the basket nearly every time he touches the ball.
Just a 31% three-point shooter, but from the field, 44%. His game is to get to the cup. Down by 7, the Knights start the second half. Ressler uses the Overway screen. Angles to the basket, now kicks it back to Ewing. 3 ball on its way from the left point. Off to the right, controlled by Hooser. And to King, 3 from the corner for Rhodes, and he rattles it home. That's their best three-point shooter, Curtis Rhodes, shooting 38% from downtown, and their streaky three-point shooting continues. And Bill Saul, his team down by 10, wants to talk this one over. Time now for This Month in Calvin Sports History, presented by Applied Innovation. Today we recall the record-breaking accomplishments of one of the greatest female swimmers of all time at Calvin, Becky Wyma. 20 years ago, Becky powered Calvin to an MIAA Women's Swimming Championship and later a top 10 finish in the NCAA meet. In 2006, she was a national champion in the 50 freestyle, 100 freestyle, and 200 freestyle. That's This Month in Calvin Sports History, presented by Applied Innovation, connecting Calvin alums for 36 years. You remember Becky Wyma, right?
I remember her amazing achievements here at Calvin, and I've gotten to know her more recently, and she is definitely on a short list of the greatest Calvin athletes of all time, most accomplished.
Down by 10, minute gone here in the second half. The Knights go to work on offense. Oh, good feet underneath the Overway. Great set coming out of that timeout that Bill Saul drew up, and Jalen Overway's in double figures. He averages 23 a game, and to go along with 12 rebounds, he now has 11. Ume, top side, wheels it right to Rhodes, back to Ume. He'll try to back down Overway, but Overway turns him away. Truman King drives down the left side on Winkle. Good defense by the Knights on this possession. Here's a good poke away by Ressler into the hands of Swartz. On the run out, Swartz to Ressler. Sets with Winkle, top of the key to Ewing, left wing. Swartz open for a three. Around and out, couldn't get it to go. Good look though. Ume tracks down the rebound in the corner. And to King, oh, nice steal by Winkle. But turns it right back over to Hooser. Loose on the floor. And Truman King is able to get a whistle for a 30-second timeout. Bergsma Plumbing is your #1 West Michigan choice when it comes to plumbing. Bergsma Plumbing is a family-owned and family-run business that values relationships with clients. Through competitive prices, you stay within budget for your next plumbing project or repair. Bergsma Plumbing helps you understand the problem and the plan to fix it, because they believe that informed clients make the best clients. That's Bergsma Plumbing, available 24/7. So if you're Jody May at halftime, what'd you tell your Albion team?
You know, I think you're encouraging them that that's exactly what they got to do again. All right, it was a great 20 minutes for them. They got good shots for them. They knocked them down, but more importantly, they made life really tough for Calvin on Calvin's offensive end. And now they started off strong with a 3-point play and a 3-point shot, and 10-point lead that's now at 8, but putting Calvin in a little bit of a hole.
1-2 is the MIAA record, as May spins in the lane over Winkle. Couldn't get it to go. Overway there for the rebound. 1-2. Their win is over Kalamazoo. Losses to Trine and Olivet. Ressler on the handoff from Overway. Right back to Overway. Spins in the lane. Left-handed lay-in over Ume is good. Beautiful two-man game there between Ressler and Overway. Worked to perfection. Mike, as a perimeter player on that two-man game with the handoff and the high ball screen, what are you looking for? What's the read that Luka Ressler has to make?
He's reading what how the defense is reacting to him as he's coming around Jalen, getting that handoff. If they were going to back way off him, he's got to be prepared to hit that shot. Otherwise, he wants to get the ball back to Jalen like he just did and let Jalen go to work. So he made the perfect read on that play.
3-point play cuts it to 5. Hooser gets a step on Rucker, zips it back out top of the key to King. 3-ball off the flange. Another rebound for Jalen Overway. Calvin finds Swartz, who knifes to the cup. Fouled on the floor. Overway now with 8 rebounds to go with his 14 points. On his way to another double-double. He leads the MIAA in scoring, and right on cue drops home another one off a good entry pass.
Calvin did a nice job of getting Jalen the ball in areas where he can go to work, and he's finishing. Got to make Albion have to bring that double team even stronger.
Rhodes jukes on Ressler, but then Ressler knocks the ball away into the hands of Overway. Luka on the run out to Swartz. Around King, left-handed layup is good for the basket and the foul. Luka Ressler doing it on both hands with a steal underneath his own basket. The run out to Swartz, who made a beautiful move, shifting the ball from right to left. And Calvin can tie this up with a Parker Swartz free throw.
I think if Coach Sell didn't get their attention at halftime, that 10-point deficit did. Calvin's ratcheted up into a different gear here the last couple minutes.
Ressler ties the game at 43, or rather Swartz does. 10 in a row for the Knights. They trailed 43-33 at one point. Clawed their way back to a tie game. Right side, Curtis Rhodes. He's for Ume. Back to Rhodes, eyed the 3 now. Dumps it underneath to Cam Mays. He'll pound it in on Ewing. Kicks it outside to B.J. Hunter, who's checked in. Bounce pass to a cutting Hooser, and Jalen Overway rejected that one. Whistle on the dead ball as Calvin gets a bench warning. Coach Saul crossing the dreaded hash mark.
Came a little too far.
3 on the clock. Mays has to hurry. Runner, no. Battle for the rebound. There's Luca Ressler again. Boy, he has come to life here in this second half with some key plays on both ends. Rucker down the left baseline. Kicks it back out to Ewing. He threw it away, intended for Overway. Out ahead to Ume, and he'll lay it in. Michael Ume with an athletic defensive effort there. Regains the lead for Albion. Ressler stops at the free throw line. To Swartz, and then they dump it down low to Overway, and he is fouled by Ume. That's the second on Michael Ume. Brings us to the under 16 timeout, 45-43. Albion on top. Fans, today's Calvin Women's Sports Report is presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union. Calvin University women's basketball player Anna Fernandez from Plymouth crossed the 1,000 career point milestone in Wednesday's 64-45 win over Kalamazoo here at Van Noord Arena. Anna Fernandez is the 19th player in program history to score at least 1,000 points. And the last to do so since, or rather the first to do so since Gabby Timmer reached that mark as a sophomore in 2020. That's today's Calvin Women's Sports Report, brought to you by Lake Michigan Credit Union, where members earn more when they save and pay less when they borrow. Speaking of Anna Fernandez, not good news today for the Calvin women's team.
Nope, I was watching a lot of the first half of that, and Calvin was down by 10 at halftime, and not exactly sure what happened in the second half, but they tried to come back, ended up losing by 3. So yeah, disappointing loss for the Knights at Albion today. Their third loss, I believe, of the conference season. So with a big week coming up with Trine and Hope. So
we will have, Mike and I will have the broadcast of the Calvin and Trine women's game Wednesday night. Really a huge game now for the Knights after that loss today. Really an up and down season for Mark Christner's team. Had some phenomenal wins prior to Christmas over some highly ranked teams, and they've stumbled a couple of times here in the MIAA season. Overweight double team, but then hits a cutting Trevin Winkle underneath, and he lays it in. Great find by Jalen Overway. Just the 7th point for Trevin Winkle, who comes into the game averaging 13. Tied again at 45. Ethan Woolery now into the game for Ume. He's got it at the right elbow. Zips it across to B.J. Hunter. Gets around McElwain and pulls up for the 12-footer inside the free throw line to put the Britons back on top. Ressler using that screen from Overway, drew the double, and they'll get Woolery for the foul. Mason Brody returns to the lineup. They'll replace Hooser. Curtis Rhodes will sit down as well. Replaced by Cam Mays. Nice pass underneath from Winkle to Overway, but Woolery stuck up from behind and blocked the shot. Great play by Ethan Woolery, the 6'6" junior from Romulus. He'll try his hand at a 3 from the top of the key. Spins it home. Ethan Woolery stepping out. Mike, he came into this game 0 for 2 from the 3-point line.
It doesn't look like the guy that's their first option for sure, but he knocked that one down after a nice defensive play.
That's the way it's been going for this Albion 3-point attack today. They have found the range from downtown. They lead at 50-45. That's their 10th triple in this basketball game. Ressler probing the right elbow underneath the Overway, spun nicely in front of Woolery as Hunter was coming over for the steal, and Jalen easily laid it in with his left hand. Boy, he plays well with both hands at the rim, doesn't he?
He almost shoots more often with his left than with his right.
Back to a 3-point game. Woolery looks for Hunter backdoor. Cut off by McElwain. Gun left wing to Brody. Steps in as Winkle went for the block, and Mason Brody with his 11th point, averages just 7 a game. As Jody Mays Britons have had some guys really step up this afternoon. Whistle on a foul off the ball. That'll go on the Britons. That's Woolery again. That's his 4th. His fouls per minute have been significant today, Mike. Woolery's played just, I got him for about 7.5 minutes, and he's picked up 4 fouls. He'll sit down. Michael Ume returns to the floor. Wrestler resets the offense. Find Winkle down low. They double on him. Might cycle it around to the left side. Swartz with 8 on the shot clock. McElwain will pull up in the left baseline, leaves it short. Battle for the rebound. Ume fights it and taps it away from Overway into the hands of Cam Mays. All the way to the bucket. Pushed on the floor as he was elevating for the shot, and he'll go to the line. You said it earlier. Cam Mays is looking to do one thing when he gets the basketball, and that's to get to the cup. Britain's now 10 of 15 from downtown. That's the percentage they've been hanging around at all afternoon. Calvin just 3 of 13. Mays hits 1 of 2. Lead is back to 6. Winkle quickly into the front court. Uses the Overway screen. Now looks from underneath. Walled off by Ume, so McElwain will drive. To Winkle, 14 on the clock. Swartz with a long 3. That's too strong. Ume right there for the boards. Calvin still with just 1 offensive rebound, and we're nearing the halfway point of the second half. Mays, nice defense by Winkle. They isolate Mays on the left side. Kicks it out to King, who finds Hunter for an open 3. That's short, but King flies in for the rebound, not boxed out. Muscles his way up on that shot, couldn't get it to go, and then battles for the offensive rebound and throws it off Trevin Winkle out of bounds. Great hustle by Truman King. Zion Ruckert gives Luca Ressler a rest. Knights with a lot of hands on hips right now.
A lot of hands on hips. There's a lot of, this is a high energy game and a lot of effort being exhibited here, and still 12.5 minutes to go. So Coach Stahl's going to have to manage that a bit, trying to keep his top players in the game as much as he can, but they're going to need a blow once in a while.
Rose at the left elbow, hands to Mason Brody. Cycle it back for a 3 from Ray. That's in and out. Rebound to McElwain. Winkle on the move. McElwain left point. Finds Overway the left block. Skip pass to Ruckert on the right side. Finds Swartz underneath. He'll drive to the lane. Now spin back the other way and bank it off the glass. Good work by Parker Swartz using his height advantage. Find the bucket for 2. Inside of 12 minutes. B.J. Hunter turned away by McElwain. Ray at the left elbow. Works his way down to the low block. Ume drives, has it rejected out of bounds by Overway. And that'll bring us to the under 12 timeout, 53-49. Albion regained that lead late in the first half, has kept the Knights at bay thus far. Time now for Know Your Knights, presented by Family Fair, with locations near you, including Byron Center, the hometown of Calvin Knight sophomore Ben Hegel. 6'6" forward from Byron Center High School. That's Know Your Knights, presented by Family Fair. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, providing personal financial strategies tailored to meet your goals and lifestyles. Today's game also brought to you by Holland Home. Since 1892, Holland Home has been providing vibrant independent living, compassionate assisted living, excellent skilled nursing, and person-centered dementia care. Holland Home is proud to offer 3 unique communities designed to help older adults live fully and vibrantly. Whether you're at Bretton Woods, Raybrook, or the newest Holland Home facility coming soon, the Aberdeen in Ada, you'll find welcoming spaces, thoughtful amenities, and the opportunities to nurture friendships old and new. That's Holland Home. Good Saturday afternoon crowd here before the students have returned to classes coming up shortly. Next few days. Good crowd on hand though, watching this key MIAA matchup. Albion led early on, 8-5. Calvin ran off 9 straight, held that lead for most of the first half. Albion, the run late at the end of the first half, had the lead. A wild shot by Curtis Rhodes, and there's Ume to clean up for the rebound and the putback. That's what Albion does. Winkle spins at the left block. Skip pass right corner to McElwain to Schwartz, nicely underneath to Overway. Sees that, feels that double team coming, and then spins into the lane and baby hooks it home for 2. Jalen Overway with a good patience on that possession.
Great patience, and he's got a great feel for where that double team is and spinning away from it. The ability to finish with the left hand really helps too.
Back to a 4-point lead. Ray, pair of 11s going at it as Ray drives on Rucker, drew the foul. That's the 4th team foul on Calvin. Albion has 6. Jody May really substitutes Ume in and out of the lineup a lot, doesn't he?
Yep.
A lot of quick spells for the talented senior from Macomb, Dakota. Mays down the right side. Cut off, so guns it to King. He works the left block to Mays to an open left corner for Hunter. That 3 ball is short. Ewing skies for the rebound. Quickly ahead to Winkle. He'll go one-on-one with Rhodes, and Rhodes reached in, knocked that out of bounds, but they'll get Curtis Rhodes for the foul. That's the 7th team, and we'll send Trevin Rickle to the line. So Calvin in the bonus with.
We're going to shoot a lot of free throws here the rest of the way.
Each team with a pair of timeouts remaining. Trevin Winkle, 85% free throw shooter. At the stripe. That's the announcer jinx, isn't it? Boy, I'll take credit for that one. Ray quickly into the front court. High arcing 3 by Rhodes. Misses the mark. Ewing controls ahead to Wrestler. McElwain. The right point. Quickly to a cutting Parker Schwartz down the lane. He lays it in. Good action that time by Calvin. And the Knights cut the lead to 2 again. Rhodes right side uses the Mays screen. And it leaves for Mays. He eyed the 3, gets a good step on Ewing. Hard to the basket. He goes off the bounce and lays it in. Cameron Mays. Winkle fall away from the lane, down the hatch. That high arcing jumper from Trevin Winkle. 57-55. Hunter top side. Mays between the rings. Tries to use that Mays screen, does Ray, and rattles home a 16-footer. Good 2-man game between Cam Mays and Dwayne Ray. Wrestler trying to use that size advantage, backing down Ray. Zips it right corner to Ewing, fakes the 3, drives to the hole, drew the hack from Cameron Mays, and that'll send Brady Ewing to the stripe with 9:16 to play. You talked about Jalen Overway, and it's really been on display today, his ability to feel that double team. How do you teach that? Is that just innate, or is that something that they've coached him up over these 3 years?
I think they've coached him up over these 3 years, and his but he had a lot of this as a freshman too. I'll give a little credit to his father, who was a good basketball player back in his day. I think he was trained well in the backyard as well. So he came into Calvin with some good footwork, and he's taken it to another level since he's been here. But it's a big part of his game, is the footwork that he has.
And that's where the offensive sets are so critical. Calvin's done such a good job getting him isolated with space. Draws the double or even triple team, and he's felt it. He's made the moves to score, but he's also found open teammates as well. Brady Ewing, 64% free throw shooter. Sinks them both. 2-point game again. Calvin just can't get over the hump. Give Albion credit. They've withstood every night attempt here in the second half to regain the lead. Rhodes stops at the right elbow. Leaves for Ume. Mays, two-man game with Ume. They kick it nicely around the horn. Three-pointer buried by Malachi Hooser. That was a great offensive set.
Really
Tremendous
was.
ball movement by Albion resulted in that open three from Hooser.
It was really pretty good defense by Calvin. They were closing on everyone, and but they finally found the open man.
62-57, 5-point lead. Overweight, the right elbow to a curling Wrestler, right back to Overweight, and that should be an easy two, and it is. Luca Wrestler. Two-man game working to perfection. Wrestler with his 4th assist. Overweight with his 20th point. Ray along the left baseline. Got a switch. Overweight's on him. Gonna make that change quick, does Calvin. There's Ume. There's that mismatch. And Wrestler, nothing he could do on Michael Ume. That was really good offense, as the switch between Wrestler and Overweight never returned back to its original state. And Ume had Wrestler down deep for an easy two.
They did. They did. Luca's teammates didn't help him there. They should have identified that mismatch and come to help quicker than what anybody did. Put him in a tough spot.
Ume strong on the free throw. Lead stays at 5 inside of 8 to go. Wrestler again driving on Hooser. Fights for position. Hooser knocked it away, stole the ball. Wrestler had him on the court where he wanted him, just couldn't finish. Quickly down the other way. Ume could not hit the layup off the great feed from Dwayne Ray. Ume will go to the stripe. 56% free throw shooter. 7:40 to go. Calvin trails by 5. Officials timeout. Good time to tell you that Calvin University Athletics offers summer sports camps in 15 different sports for kids in elementary school through high school. Visit calvinknights.com for a complete list of camps. Calvin Summer Sports Camps are sponsored by Power Strength Training Systems with 6 locations throughout West Michigan. Specialized training programs for high school and college athletes, plus customized training for adults over 40 as Power Strength Training System as West Michigan's comprehensive athletic training center. Check them out today at powerstrengthpro.com. Don't forget, next Saturday night, Mike and I will be courtside at DeVos Center in Holland for the 217th edition of the rivalry. And we broadcast on Michigan Sports Radio and 96.1 FM The Game. Airtime with pregame coverage starts at 6:45. And that's the nightcap of a doubleheader that will have us here at Van Nord Arena at 3 o'clock for the Calvin Sports Network's production and Michigan Sports Radio's production of the women's rivalry games. Hope pays Calvin a visit next Saturday. Airtime at 3 o'clock.
You know, Bob, just looking at the up-to-date stats, Calvin's shooting almost 68.8% in the second half and still just can't close this lead. I mean, credit to Albion knocking down a few threes and a couple of the old school three-point plays with a 2-point basket and a foul, and they are just playing with a lot of energy, and they're proving to be all that Calvin can handle this afternoon.
Here in the second half, one thing too, Mike, that's happened is that offensive rebound effort by Albion. They just had 2 offensive rebounds in the first half. That number is now at 10, which means they're rebounding about 30% of their missed shots, still below their average, but that part of the game is starting to develop like we thought.
And compared to Calvin's 1 offensive rebound on the game.
What's been the difference today, really, in terms of what we didn't expect, is the 3-point shooting, where Albion is 11 for 20. That is 55% for a team that normally shoots 32%. Down by 7. Knights need a bucket. Wrestler to Overweight the left block. Double team, kicks it to Rucker. Right side. Winkle will try a 3. No, but a good hustle. Rebound by Parker Schwartz. There's that offensive boards that Calvin needed. Underneath to Overweight. Easy 2. Great pass from Parker Schwartz, and the Knights cut it to 5. Curtis Rhodes hemmed in by Swartz. Give it to Hooser. Works the baseline. Zips it right point to Rhodes. Drives on Swartz. Fell down, but found Ume underneath on a bounce pass and laid it in. Good find by Curtis Rhodes as he was hitting the deck. 6.5 to play. The defensive end is where Calvin needs to make things happen. Otherwise, past the wrestler tipped away. Wrestler hounded by Hooser. They switch. Winkle gets free. He'll stop and pop from the free throw line and rattle it home. Trevin Winkle with his 11th point as he's in double figures. Swartz has 12. Overway leads the Knights with 22.
Calvin playing very efficiently now on the offensive end, but the difference is going to have to be on the defensive end here.
Dwayne Ray trying to back down Ruckert. And there's a illegal screen on Michael Ume. Boy, it's a tough call. I mean, that's a play that could have been called several times today. How do you see that? What's the rule on that call?
Well, in that particular one, I thought Ruckert actually reach in, so I was expecting the foul to be on the defense on that one. But yeah, I mean, the offensive guy's screening has to stay still long enough for that contact to happen. He can't move before, and apparently the referee decided he had moved a little too early on that one.
Ume will sit down. He'll bring his 16 points to the bench with his 3rd foul. And you hear Jody May talking about to the official. Calvin's doing the same thing offensively. It is a interesting call, judgment by the official. Wrestler probes the lane, off balance, drops it home. Luca Wrestler with a chance for a 3-point play. Hammered as he went up for the shot. He'll go to the line. The foul was on Cam Mays. Wrestler's taking some shots today, hasn't he?
Some shots. It was a really nice play by Luca. Great patience to wait for the guy to come down on him and then finish it.
Wrestler now with 8. 3 for 6 from the field. Can't hit the free throw, but there's Parker Swartz with a rebound to Wrestler. 3, no. Overweight tried to tip it in. Wouldn't go. And Cam Mays gathers for Albion. To Hooser, who sets up shop near the timeline. 5.5 to play. Brits by 3. Right side King to Woolery. Fakes the 3. Still say Calvin will give him that shot. Underneath, Curtis Rhodes backing down. Wrestler powers his way up off the back of the flange. Overway with the rebound. Ahead to Winkle. Does not have numbers, but all the way to the bucket. He'll draw the foul on Truman King. That was a 1-on-3, Mike, and I don't know if he was just put the head down and said, I'm going after it, but it paid off.
I think that's what he said, and that's one of those things where something good better happen for him or coach isn't going to be real pleased. So fortunately for Trevin, he got the call and hopefully knocks down a couple free throws.
The McBain, Michigan senior to the stripe. He'll shoot 2. Now he's back to that 85% form. Justin McElwain gives Luca Wrestler a much-deserved rest. And then Winkle has a chance to narrow the gap to 1. Which he does. Ume back into the lineup for Woolery. Dwayne Ray for Hooser. So it's Ray, Ume, Rhodes, and Mays. That's the starting lineup for Albion. Calvin counters with Ruckert, Swartz, Overway, Winkle, and McElwain. Ume with the handoff to Ray. Ruckert stays with him. To Mays with 8 on the shot clock. Drives down the right side, fires it back to King. He'll jack one up from the top side. No, but there's Rhodes with the rebound. Couldn't finish. And Trevin Winkle is there for the defensive carom and was fouled as well. Curtis Rhodes crashing the board to pick up that offensive rebound, but just could not put it in. And Winkle skied for the second chance carom and was pushed as he did. He has a chance to put Calvin on top. The Knights just keep grittily trying to overtake this lead here.
That's what it's taking today. Albion's just proven to be a tough opponent, and we're finally caught him at this point. Let's see where we can go from here.
Calvin reached a tie earlier in the second half, and then Albion spurted back to a 7-point lead. But the Knights have surged here of late to cut this 7-point lead down to the point where Calvin has the edge for the first time since late in the second half. Calvin by 1, 4.5 to go. 16 fouls on Calvin. Both teams now in the bonus. Calvin actually in the double bonus. Underneath they find Ume, and he uses that strength to muscle it in over way. Brits back on top. Ruckert overweight. Left elbow. Looks for Schwartz underneath. Can't find him, so they'll reset to Ruckert. Ume fronts overweight. Stops that entry pass with 10 on the shot clock. Winkle finds overweight. He's double teamed underneath. Tries to split the defenders. Can't. McElwain waits for Truman to fly by. Unloads a 3. No. Schwartz there for the rebound. Put back is blocked away out of bounds with 17 on the clock. Calvin will have it underneath, and that takes us to the under 4 timeout. What a finish we have set here as Calvin battled their way back. Grabbed a 1-point lead, now trailed by 1 with 3:43 to go in this one. Well, like you said earlier, Bill Saul's idea of an exciting game is not what mine and yours is. But I will say this has been absolutely a delightful basketball game today.
It has been a well-played game on both sides, just really competitive. Kudos to Albion. I'm starting to wonder. I'm nothing against Olivet and Trine, but they look like a team that nobody would really want to play right now, based on what we've seen today.
You had to figure Trine felt that they escaped Kresge Gymnasium on Wednesday night with that win over Albion. And it's always interesting to see, Mike, how a team reacts after a tough loss to a good team. Do they lose in a sense? Do they lose twice because they just can't get ready to go? Or does it catapult them to play even better the next game? And for the Brits, that's what's happened.
That's
the latter.
What happened, and especially when that next game is again on the road against the team that was the preseason pick to win the conference. So kudos to Coach May. He's obviously rallied the troops here in the last couple days of practice, really got them ready to play today. And we're in for a barn burner here for the last 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
Really, the game has played out just like we thought in so many ways. Jalen Overway's found the size advantage. He's got his 24 points underneath. Ume's been tough on the offensive boards. The difference has been 3-point shooting. Calvin's 3 out of 17. Albion is 11 of 21, and that's why the Britons have a 1-point lead. Knights inbounded to Schwartz. Wrestler back in the game now. Hounded by Ray. Finds Overway. Here comes the double. He'll dribble down. Split that double with the right hand. And foul on the way up by Curtis Rhodes. Boy, I love his patience today. So good.
Yeah, if you're Albion there, you just can't let him have the room to split that double team. That was their mistake there, and Jalen took advantage of it.
You made a comment early in the game about the digs and how whoever's being doubled down low, as Overway hits the first free throw to tie this game, can't put the ball on the floor. That's what Jalen's done a great job of here in the second half. He's caught that pass, Mike, and he's kept it high, and that has prevented those steals from down low.
Yep, that's right.
Overway gives the Knights the lead with his 26th point. 26 points and 11 rebounds. Chipped in with 3 assists as well. Schwartz with 12, Winkle with 15 have led Calvin. Albion paced by a very balanced attack. Ume's 18. Down underneath, there's a beautiful block by Overway on Mays. Ball corralled by McElwain. Ahead to Winkle. Knights up by 1. Right side. Wrestler, he'll eye the 3 and take it. Oh, it's just too strong, but McElwain picks up the long rebound. Wrestler to Schwartz, down to Overway, backs in, spins, sends it out to Wrestler. 9 on the shot clock, right wing 3, no from McElwain. Weak side rebound controlled by Mays. Races into the front court. Leaves for Ray. Hands off to Hooser. Down the lane he goes. Double pumper at the left block. Mid-post, no, but drew the foul on Justin McElwain. Good action by that Albion offense to get their quick guards moving toward the cup, and Hooser will shoot 2. Short on the first free throw. Hooser an 82% free throw shooter. Second one on the way. That's short. And Trevin Winkle there for the rebound. Ahead to Wrestler. Looks underneath to Overway. Can't hit him, so right side now is McElwain trapped in the corner, and Bill Saul's going to bail him out with a timeout. Calvin with 1 left. .220 to go. Knights by 1. We'll start to talk about some of our post-game awards, Mike, and give you the chance to think about the Bauman and DeGroot Energy Efficient Player of the Game. Looking for that guy who's really given Calvin a spark here today. And we'll save that one because that's really the player of the game, but it's the Pliables energizing the Knights player who we're looking for now, kind of the guy who's given Calvin some true energy. Who would that be today as you've seen this game come down to the home stretch?
You know, I'm looking at Trevin Winkle. He's just right in the middle of all the action, providing energy that the Knights need. In addition to that, he's 5 out of 7 from the field and he got 15 points, including a 3-pointer and a numerous free throws. So I think he's been an energizing guy for the Calvin Knights all afternoon.
Down low as the Knights find Overway. He's double teamed. Knocked out of bounds. Will stay with Calvin. Talking about Winkle too, great call because I think his defense has been really good. You look at those wings of Rhodes and Mays, and Rhodes with just 6 points, Mays with 14, but it's taken him 14 shots to get it. A lot of that's been Trevin Winkle. Spins in the lane, does Jalen Overway. Baby hook drops through, and it's 73-70. Calvin with a gritty performance here in the last 6 minutes to regain the lead. Hooser zips it left side to Ray, spins on Wrestler, fall away, finds the hatch, drops it through. 73-72, a minute 40 to go. Winkle between the rings, watched by Rhodes. Kicks it down low to Overway, backs in, and he drew the hack again. The double team coming from Ray. And the official got Ray off that backside with the foul, and that sends Jalen Overway to the line, where he has been very good tonight. 6 of 7 from the stripe. 64% shooter coming into this game, but he's knocking them down at 88% here today. Jalen with another double-double.
And that gives him 30 on the day.
Season high for Jalen Overway.
Big second half. I think that's 21 in the second half.
His 11th double-double of the year. Knights by 3. Ray with space. Takes it to the hole on Winkle. No. Little battle for the loose ball. Swartz had it, but it flipped out of his hands. Good hustle by Albion. Hooser with a minute to go, drives down the lane. Nice bounce pass to Ume underneath. Can't get anything up over Overway though. Kicks it back out to Ray. He drives on Winkle right side. 3 on the shot clock. Hooser will have to fire, and he got bailed out down low by Wrestler with a foul. Great defense by Calvin, but Hooser was able to manufacture an attempt. And Luca Wrestler slapped him on the wrist. It sends Malachi Hooser back to the free throw line.
That scrum for the ball that they had, I think Coach Saul was hoping that Calvin could just get his hands on it and let everybody settle down instead of trying to run out with it. And couldn't quite secure it, and Albion got a chance to draw this lead down to 1.
Hooser came up empty from the stripe on his last trip there. This time he's able to bury them both, and it's a 1-point game. Inside a minute to go. Calvin trying to pull out this hard-fought MIAA battle. Winkle sheds Rhodes, stops at the right elbow, leaves for Wrestler at the right point. Two-man game with Overway. Can't find Jalen down low, so cycles back to Swartz. Now they hit Overway at the right low block. Spins, goes up for the shot. No, but he drew the hack again from Ume with the body. Great footwork by Jalen Overway. With 35 seconds to play, Jalen goes back to the free throw line. Good patience by that Calvin offense on that set.
They've just done a great job here in the second half, just figuring out ways to get Jalen the ball and then letting him go to work once he does.
How about this comeback for the Knights in the second half? Mike, they've done it without a three-point shot.
Yeah.
0 for 6 from the field. Meanwhile, Albion's kind of come back to earth in the second half. They're just 3 for 9.
And 0 for 6 obviously isn't great, but that's the number of attempts is less than what they would typically shoot in one half. So they're pounding the ball inside at this point.
Jalen with his second free throw. Boy, he's been pure from the charity stripe. 3-point lead again for the Knights. 30 seconds to go. Calvin's defense trying to rise to the occasion here. Mays drives on Overway. They McAway with a steal as he stepped in the lane and knocked it away. And the foul quickly on Trevin Winkle as King fouls Calvin's best free throw shooter with 20 seconds to play. What a great play by Justin McElwain defensively to steal the ball from Cam Mays. Winkle to the free throw line where he is 4 for 5 today. And Jody May will take a timeout of the 30-second variety before Winkle goes to the free throw stripe. Let's reset this one. Each team with 1 timeout left. Possession arrow is to Calvin. Calvin's in the double bonus. Albion is in the bonus. You know what this game felt a little bit like here in the late in the first half, second half? Think back to the MIAA championship last year. Hope and Calvin.
Yeah.
Hope garnered that lead late in the first half, went to the locker room ahead, extended it, expanded it in the second half. Calvin just wouldn't quit.
Yep.
And finally climbed the mountain, got to the top, and then held off the Dutch to win that MIAA championship last February here at Van Noord. Today's game had that same flow, didn't it?
Very similar. I mean, they needed to step the defense up to another level, and they needed to be very efficient on the offensive end. One of those games where you just can't let possessions get away, and Overway's carried the bulk of it, but others have stepped up as well, and it's been a good team effort here down the stretch. Let's see if Trevin can make it a 2-score game.
It's the first. Stay tuned after the game for the Big East post-game show. Make sure to stop at Big East for all of your watch party activities for big football weekend and all the basketball coming up throughout the winter. It's the Big East post-game show coming up here. Winkle 2 free throws. And the lead is now 5, the biggest lead for Calvin since late in the first half. Britons need to manufacture some points quickly. Calvin's been really good at the free throw line, and that's Knights 23 out of 28. Mays, the King, gets a step on McElwain and arcs a beautiful 3-pointer through the cup. Truman King.
They're not going to go away.
His first 3-pointer. He's one of their better 3-point shooters. Beautiful shot there to cut this gap to 2 points. Don't forget, Inside Calvin basketball starts on February 2nd at Big E's. Join Bill Saul and key players every Monday night at 6:30. Great basketball talk and menu items from Big E's. Shows live on 96.1 FM The Game and Michigan Sports Radio. Fun time last year. A lot of folks turned out for that and expect more of the same this year.
Yeah, we had great participation with the Calvin basketball community. It was a lot of fun last year, so hope a lot of people come out each Monday night in February for that again this year.
Starts at 6:30, but come on out well before that. Grab some dinner, get a chance to meet Coach Bill Saul and the players. And it starts Monday again, February 2nd at Big E's on East Beltline. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Applied Innovation, where innovation means more smiles for your business. Calvin Sports Network. Next broadcast is next Wednesday. It's coming Wednesday. Mike and I will be courtside for the women's battle between Trine and Calvin. Should be a good one here at Van Noord. 2-point game. Calvin trying to hang on here as they've clawed their way back. They'll inbound the basketball. And 5 wide receivers lined up in an empty backfield. The quarterback wrestler takes the handoff, gives it to the guy they wanted to, Winkle. Best free throw shooter. He's hemmed in the corner. And Bill Saul uses his final timeout with 6 seconds to go. Great job by Albion to trap and not foul.
Yep.
Full 30-second timeout. All right, 6 seconds to go. Neither team has a timeout left. Mike, let's go inside the huddles. If you're Jody May, what are you telling the Brits at this moment?
Well, now they got 4 seconds less than what they had before that play started. So the ability to really just try to trap and force a turnover, they're going to run out of time quickly. So if they can't deny the ball from getting in bounds, they probably need to foul right away. So they're going to try to keep the ball out of Trevin Winkle's hands as our best free throw shooter and make somebody else receive it. But Calvin has a number of other good ball handlers and free throw shooters. So if you're Calvin, you just got to get this ball in bounds and then be really strong with it. Make sure you don't make an errant pass or allow them to hit it out of your hands because you're likely going to the free throw line at that point.
Well, it's not going to happen today because this has been a tight game all along, but normally a Calvin victory, if it happens, and it happens with a margin of greater than 15 points, results in Pietro's Restaurant promotion of whatever percent off the night's win by if it's over 15 points on any pasta dishes through Sunday. So if that happens in the future, not going to happen today, I guarantee you that.
Certainly not going to happen today.
But be sure to enjoy Pietro's on the weekend where Calvin does pull off that big win. Right here, 6.8. They've reset the clock to 6.8. So Calvin will trigger it in. I love that play where all 5 line up. But you can't do that here because it was a dead ball foul, right? So the inbounds has to be more of the normal variety, and Calvin will have Wrestler trigger it in with McElwain, Schwartz, Winkle, and Overway on the court. Inbounds pass to Winkle. He's fouled immediately by Curtis Rose, and Calvin got exactly what they wanted.
Great job by Trevin to aggressively come and get that ball.
Double bonus for Trevin Winkle. He's 6 of 7 from the line, right at his percentage, 85%. Been quiet but efficient from the floor. His shooting percentage has climbed to 57% from the field, 43% from 3. He's doing what he does, a savvy senior veteran. Up by 2. A couple of free throws here. Should ice it. Missed on the first. Winkle. And now with no timeouts left, Albion need a 2 or a 3 depending on what happens with Winkle's shot. Zion Ruckert's set to check in. Winkle's free throw is pure. And Overway will sit down. Ruckert comes in. A 3-point game. 3-point shot. What Albion has lived by here today. They'll need this to send this one to overtime. 5 seconds to go. The ball inbounded to Ray. Into the front court on Ruckert. Leaves it for King. Knocked out of bounds with 0.6 seconds. Great defense in the perimeter there by Ruckert. And Winkle. McElwain, yeah. Now Overway checks in. And Jody May wants a timeout, but I don't think he's got any left. Scoreboard says 0.
Maybe the scoreboard was incorrect.
Interesting, though, that May would use one there and not earlier. Yeah, scoreboard says 0 timeouts, but Albion will spend what presumably is their final timeout. Yeah, that's their 5th timeout, Mike, because I know they used one in the first half, one early in the second. This is the 3rd one they've spent here late. So at any rate, a little bonus basketball.
Yep.
6 seconds to go. So what do you dial up if you're Jody May here?
Well, you got to try to figure out. I think with .6 you can still catch and shoot, but they got to figure out how to get one of their shooters free somehow to have. And it's kind of like an all-in-one motion, catch and shoot it. Calvin will obviously be dialed into their main threats from 3. And try not to let them even touch the ball, much less get any look at it if they do.
By far, Truman King is their most used 3-point shooter. He's taken 65 this year. Curtis Rose has shot 48 threes. Cam Mays with 35. So watch for number 20, Truman King, or 15, Curtis Rose, likely to receive the inbounds pass and be ready to go and launch it.
Oh, now they're up to 1.2 on the clock.
One of the advantages of replay, officials able to go make sure they've got the right time. Jalen Overway, Luca Ressler, Trevin Winkle, Justin McElwain, and Parker Swartz to try to hold off the Brits.
Putting big Jalen on the ball just to make it hard for him to, from a vision standpoint.
Inbounds pass to Mays. He'll launch it. He couldn't get it to go. Desperation shot from 35, and the Calvin Knights hang on for an 80-77 thriller over the Albion Britons here today at Van Noord Arena. What a game.
It was you could feel the exhale here in the building.
Great defense on that last set, too.
Very good.
Rhodes, King, the two guys who were the first options, and both of them were cut off well by the Calvin defenders. That left it going to Cam Mays, and he was a good 35 feet out to just hoist up a desperation
Forced
shot.
a true desperation, yeah.
So Calvin hangs on. They trailed by 3 at halftime. They trailed most of the second half, overcame the deficit late in the second half to win this 80-77. Knights end up shooting 49% to Albion's 41. Calvin just 3 of 19 from downtown. Albion 12 of 23, but could not get the last one to go. From the free throw stripe, Calvin pretty good at 25 out of 31. And Albion 13 out of 20. Welcome inside the Big East post-game show. Pleasure to be joined by the victorious coach Bill Saul. And I don't know, you know, Mike Lefebvre and I were talking about, we know you don't like these types of games, but I got to tell you, that was one entertaining basketball game today. I don't know if that's any consolation to you, but congratulations on a great win.
Hey, thank you. I mean, that was a battle, right? I mean, that was some good old-fashioned MIAA basketball. You know, I mean, that's what you expect. It's what you expect out of Albion. I thought they played great. You know, man, he was physical. Jody had him playing incredibly hard. They had us well scouted. You know, they made some great shots today. And, you know, man, it was 40 minutes of a battle, right? I thought, you know, the beginning, you know, the first couple of punches they gave to us, we didn't really respond all that well. You know, and even in that second half, we got a lead and then we kind of relaxed. And man, they just kept on coming at us. So credit to that team. But yeah, really happy. The execution down the stretch I thought was really good. And you know, overall, man, our guys battled. And you know, Jay, huge game right down the stretch, man. He did what we needed to do, so it was great to see.
Bill, so much to break down on this one. Let's talk about the defense first, and the rebounding side. This team comes into the game rebounding 40% of their misses.
Yeah.
They attacked the glass.
Yep.
In the first half, you really contained them. They just had only 2 offensive rebounds. Second half, that changed. Ume went to work in the second half. Rhodes did, as did Cameron Mays. What happened from the first half to the second half that they had their way like they often do with teams on the offensive glass?
Well, you know, I think their aggressiveness, but then also along with it, you know, they were getting downhill so much that, you know, we had to come over on help and we just left the backside open, right? I mean, I'm sure you're going to see on the film, you know, Overway's coming up on the help, and now, you know, that backside is open. We didn't get a great check on that, and, you know, they really took it to us there.
Defensively, How much were you prepared for them to shoot 55% from downtown today?
Not really, right? I mean, and hey, listen, credit to them. That's what happens in these games when they're rolling, right? I mean, you got number 0. He's shooting 19% on the year. Okay, 19. He made 3 threes. He was 3, I think, of 15, and he goes 4 of 6 today, right? You got number 35, all right, who had only made 1 basket the whole year. One 2-point shot in the season, and he buries a 3. That happens, right? I mean, that's what makes this a lot of fun. You know, that's why you play the games, because a lot of times you can throw the numbers out the window, because it really comes down to, in the end, who's going to be able to get done.
Offensively, big story today certainly is the fact that you were without Jordan Scott.
Yeah.
Give us a sense for the adjustments you had to make this week to play without one of your starting guards, and then just how things materialized today in his absence.
Well, it's really tough. I mean, you know, especially with a team that defends like that, right? And that type of pressure. You know, Jordan is, you know, the person that can relieve that pressure, can get off a screen, can get the spots, and he had been playing really well. So, you know, we couldn't go that way. I mean, and, you know, that's the thing. Injuries happen. Other guys got to step up. You know, I thought, you know, McElwain offensively didn't show it, but, man, 7 rebounds from him. You know, and Zion Ruckert, big 3, right? And I thought defended pretty well. And, you know, we got to keep on going to that bench. We got to keep on getting these guys to keep on cooking, because it's really important.
How about the 2-man game all day long between Wrestler and Overway? You look at Luka's stat line, just 2 turnovers. As much as he was hounded and as much as you relied on him to find Jalen underneath, how good was his playmaking ability today?
Just so, he's such a tough warrior, right? I mean, when he's out there, I tell you what, our offense clicks. When he's not, it doesn't. You know, I mean, to tell you the truth, it's a shame that there's only 4 assists there, because I promise you a lot of passes that were made, right? Where to Jay, where he might get a little dribble. I'm always like, man, if you pass it to the post, it should be an assist.
If he gets fouled and makes
whatever, right?
Absolutely.
You know, and that's not how it's scored. But, you know, man, what a warrior he is, and he just got absolutely blasted today. I mean, whiplash on the ground. I mean, in the first half, there were about 4 times he just got thrown to the ground. I don't know if we were playing football or playing basketball for a period of time out there, but you know, he just keeps on fighting.
As we know, every game's big, and this was a big game today, and yet this week coming up is perhaps one of the watershed moments of the week. Where do you feel the team is at coming out of the Christmas break, the non-conference season, now 4-0 in the league? What's your level of satisfaction in terms of where this team is at?
Well, you know, I mean, we're doing great. I mean, you understand, right? I mean, losing Jordan Scott is a big deal, right? I mean, we still got to figure that piece out, because I mean, you also have to understand it's on the offensive side, but my goodness, he's a great defender, right? He's probably our best on-the-ball defender that we have with that length, right? And so you're missing him on both sides. So, you know, yeah, it happens, but we still have a lot of things to figure out, you know, hopefully we can continue to battle and persevere. And I will tell you this, right? What I love about this team is they never once, right, back down. You know, man, what are we down at 1 point? 10.
Yeah,
10 points.
Twice,
right? I mean, they didn't quit, right?
Gritty
and then just battled to get back. But man, it's we got a lot of work to do. That's for sure.
Great ball game. I appreciate your comments about Albion. Great effort from the Brits today.
Just so good. You know, Jody May is just such a great coach. You know, I tell you what, he comes in every time, and you're going to have a battle, and he certainly showed that today.
Congratulations. Doesn't get any easier.
No, it doesn't.
To Trine on Wednesday.
All right.
Can't wait for that one.
All right, great
job.
Thanks.
Bill Saul victorious after a 80-77 win over the Albion Britons today. Just a terrific basketball game. Let's go over some of the individual stats. You heard some of those mentioned by Bill as we continue on with the Big East post-game show. Individual scoring leaders today for Albion. It was Michael Ume leading the way with 18. Cameron Mays with 14, but took him 15 shots to do it. 14 for Mason Brody. That was a big surprise. Dwayne Ray added 12. Another big surprise is those 2 guards really got the long ball going. 6 of 10 from downtown for those 2 backcourt mates. Malachi Hoosier chipped in with 8. Curtis Rhodes really held in check. Just 2 for 7 and 6 points for the forward for Albion. 2 for B.J. Hunter and 3 for Ethan Woolery. For Calvin today, Overway with a season-high 32. 12 for Parker Schwartz, 18 for Trevin Winkle, a quiet 18, but really got to the free throw line, hit 7 of 9, Overway 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Also for Calvin, Luca Ressler added 8 with 4 assists, and 2 for JT McElwain, and 3 for Zion Ruckert. Mike, you heard Bill Saul just talk about the grit. I think that's one thing that's a big takeaway today. Give Calvin a lot of credit. Yep. Down by 10, just kept fighting back.
Yep, this was a team that wasn't going away. Albion played hard and played pretty well for 40 minutes, and Calvin really had to give everything they could to take this one in the end, and they did. They figured out a way to do it, both offensively and defensively. Just really got after it, played some efficient basketball down the stretch.
Time now to pass out a few of our awards. Our Visser Brothers Teamwork Award goes to the two-man effort of, I thought, Luca Ressler and Jalen Overway. Just the way they were so persistent in working the high-low game. At the high point was Ressler, and Overway battling for position, and Luca trying so many entry passes and to only turn it over twice. Yep. Just a credit to their teamwork ability. That's our Visser Brothers Teamwork of the Game. Mike, how about our Defensive Player of the Game today, brought to you by Straight Line Fence. Again, a number of guys that stepped up.
Yeah, it's almost a team award this year, in this game. But I think we talked a little bit earlier. We talked about Trevin Winkle being our efficiency player of the game. I thought he and Parker Schwartz playing on the wing with, Albion's primary scorer threats and guys who were very aggressive. They forced Cameron Mays into a 4 for 15 performance. He scored 14 points, but he had to do a lot of work to get those 14. We gave Trevin one award. Let's give Parker Schwartz the Defensive Player of the Year of the Game award.
And our last award is the Bauman and DeGroot Energy Efficient Player of the Game for his performance. And
well, that's not a tough one. Jalen Overway. Jalen did what your superstar is supposed to do tonight, and it was not easy. His teammates get a lot of credit, and Coach Saul and the coaching staff as well. It was very obvious basically the whole second half that they were figuring out how to get the ball down to Jalen down low and work against that double team, and they did it very well. And Jalen with 32 points, his season high. Another memorable performance for Big J.
Here's another stat that really, I think, validates that selection. Not that it was that difficult, but into this game, Jalen Overway came in with 2.5 turnovers per game. Today, 0.
Yeah.
When you think about the way he was attacked on the doubles, and to be poised and patient enough to kick it out or work for his baby hook and never turn the ball over.
That's a remarkable statistic.
Outstanding.
It really is. Yep.
The other stat that also is nicely on the stat sheet is fouls drawn. 8 times he went to the line tonight. Today because he was fouled. So Jalen Overway, our player of the game, presented by Bauman and DeGroot, where only the best heating and cooling systems are recommended for you, with no upselling and no pushy sales tactics. Great ball game today. Again, the final score, 80-77. Our Big East post-game show today brought to you by Big East Sports Grill on East Beltline, the best place to watch all this weekend's sports. Big East, check them out for tonight's NFL playoff action, tomorrow's playoff games, Monday night's national championship game, and of course a whole lot of basketball. That's Big East post-game show featuring all the final stats and analysis you needed for today. All right, that'll do it. Our Fast Science final score once again today: Calvin 80, Albion 77. For Alan Warner, our producer, Mike Lefebvre with his expert analysis today. For Brock Conkle from Michigan Sports Radio, and Lucas Moore, our executive producer of Calvin Sports Network. I want to say so long. This is Bob Sack telling you have a great weekend. We'll see you Wednesday night when the Trine women come into town to meet Calvin's women here on the Calvin Sports Network. So long, everybody.